In this video, we're going to focus on solving the moving average item. So we're going to zoom in here. If you zoom in here, you can see here now it will not stick out here at the very beginning. So let's start to look how we can solve this issue. So what we're going to do here is, I guess we should fix first the error that we had. If I zoom in like this and I do here the moving average, you can see here we get this additional line here. I don't like that, and I thought that that needs to be done first before we even continue on making something else. Interesting enough, here something works, or at least that is the other item. But if I do here, there we are. So you can see here this needs to be fixed because it will only work on the very first item here. That works nicely. So what I'm going to do is we're going to scroll down here, and there will be two separate videos. The first one here is to solve the indicator, the moving average. So I'm going to type in the indicator, and then within here what I'm going to do is basically the error is because of this. What happens is the value is based on here. However, once we zoom in like this, or at least outside of there we are, like that, or something like that, then we are getting the additional point here, and I want to solve that. So let's fix that right now. First thing what we need to do is we need to make sure that the move to starts at whatever the value would be at this particular point, instead of putting in here the 0, because then it will start always at the index 0, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do here is just here above, I'm going to say here enter, and I'm going to make a very simple item. I say a constant, and I'm going to say here, I guess here the date array, or well, we already have that term, and we're going to reuse that, and maybe we can move that constant above, but I will leave it for now. I'll just say here d array, referring to the date array, and this is just a map method functionality where we're going to create a new array based on the data on the x. So we're going to say data.datasets index 0 dot data dot map, and then we're going to say here this will be equal to date. So for every date, and then what I'm going to do here is just return this, and we're going to say date.x. So this is nothing fancy or nothing new. We already covered that previously. It's just a map method to create an array with this array variable. So once I have that, what I want to do is I want to get this well, we have this array, but then what I want to do is I want to get from the minimum, and that is in here. Let's look at this somewhere down here, or not there, but let's see, where is that? The scale.min, this is the one. I want to figure out what is the value here, and then we're going to put that as, or we're going to grab this and then calculate what is the index from that, and then we're going to draw it, meaning because the min might change the moment we zoom in. If I do it like this, or let's refresh, if I do this, then here the minimum should be whatever this index is here. So we're going to scroll up here back to the indicator. Let's do a search indicator, or indicator. Did it work? Oh, it doesn't work at all. Alright, fair enough, just leave that. I'll just scroll up and look for the, or maybe here, moving average. Alright, that's the one I want. Moving average indicators. So we have this part here, and then what I'm going to do here, dot constant, and let's say here date index, and this date index is equal to date array dot index of, and then what I want here is, make sure we spell it correctly, or like that, because only the O should be capitalized, and then here we say here, because we have the scale, we're going to say here x dot min. Once we get that, we get here the index number, and I'm going to copy that and put that index number in here as the move to a starting point on the x variable. So once we did that, if I save this, let's see if this works. So if I do this, alright, and then now I'm going to zoom in. There we are, and then zoom in again. Alright, so you can see here we are still missing something. So what exactly are we missing here is basically this here. We have the loop, or at least here the loop. This needs to be a specific variable. Let's see, what is the variable here? Move to. So if the move to would be whatever the value is, this variable here should be most likely I plus that. So I'm going to put that in here. This one here, if that is that, I think it's like this. Let's save that. refresh, turn this on. All right, zoom here, there we are, then zoom another one, there we are. Interesting, it's still getting here, so let me just double check. Alright, so I figured out, so you can see here what is happening. It starts here and goes there. Why is this line there? Basically, we have the date index, which is correct, but we need to increase this or increment it with +1. The reason for this is because we're starting here at move to. This one here, that's a starting point, and then of course we should not start again on the same variable, but we will have to start on the one, or whatever this variable is, plus a single value on top of it, so +1. So if I do this, let's look. Alright, then we go here, we zoom in, you can see here this will work nicely, and if I reset it, it jumps back. Absolutely phenomenal. Alright, so this is the first one, and in the next video I'm going to cover the other one quickly.